up? My name is Enrique. I own the fastest growing agency in upstate New York for marketing, that is. And marketing is really my thing. And Juan and I are coming together to provide the family of JMC, his community, which is you guys, more value in marketing, right? So really what this webinar is about is how you can make the most of the pandemic with the resources that are out there in today's internet. And we're really going to give you a good show. And we're going to go over the five fundamentals that auto repair shops, guys like you, that can really do the most, the tools and the softwares and the apps and the websites that you guys can leverage the most, and different strategies that you guys can leverage the most to really get the most out of, this current situation that we're in, because truth be told, I mean, it's no surprise, it's doing some serious damage out there, right? But also there's a good amount of businesses that know how to operate during stressful times like this. And they're taking a complete different approach than most businesses. And that's something that we're gonna go over today. I wanna thank Juan again for making this happen. This has been a few weeks in the process. So Juan and I are super excited to get this whole thing going on. We got some friendly faces here and some strangers that I don't know, but I wanna know. And towards the end, what we're gonna do is like answering questions sort of thing. So we're gonna go over, our stuff. We're gonna let you know the five fundamentals. And if you guys have any questions on any kind of marketing, what you wanna do or what you're not sure of, you guys could ask me or Juan. And what we'll do is we'll just give you everything you want to know as far as what you can do to leverage the most and how you can benefit the most with the current situation. So, with that being said, Juan, thank you, man. Super excited to be here, super pumped. It's been a little bit of time to get this thing running, and I'm glad that we're here on a Thursday afternoon.
Exactly. No, because we really wanted to bring as much value to everyone. So it did take a little while to get this going, because we did want to come up with some really good strategies on what we can do. And Enrique, by the way, thank you very much for coming in. By the way, I want to introduce Enrique. Basically, the way I know this guy is, we went to a marketing seminar about a year ago, and we really became good friends. And then we just kind of hit it off because we're both marketers, we're both businessmen, entrepreneurs, So I like that about him, and he's definitely a go-getter. And he's worked with a couple of businesses and taking those businesses to the next level, right? Another reason why I want to bring him in is because he was, in the beginning of the pandemic, he was one of the persons that actually gave me the best advice. When everything was going on and when sales were basically starting to slow down a bit, I asked him, we just had a conversation, and I asked him, hey, what do you think we should do? And he told me, he's like, hey, you know what? A lot of businesses are probably slowing down in their marketing right now, right? So because a lot of businesses are going to slow down, you should actually continue to expand. So don't contract, just continue to expand and expand and expand, right? I took that advice, and basically it gave me it increased sales. Where a lot of people, I think, were slowing down their marketing campaigns, their paid advertising campaigns, I actually kind of doubled down on what I was doing, and that actually made me a lot more successful, especially during these times. So definitely I want to thank Enrique because of that, and and I wanted to bring him on to this webinar to talk about basically some simple strategies that auto repair shops in general can do. But thank you guys, thank you everyone for coming on to this webinar as well. I see we got Andres, Laura, Marty, Stan, Steph, Troy, and another Stan as well. So thank you for coming on, guys. And I'm just gonna continue letting people into the webinar as we go along. So Enrique, go ahead if you wanna start talking about some of the strategies that you got for us. Go ahead, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so I want to get started first with the most popular, I want to say probably one of the most popular social medias out there. And a reason why social media is so important to use today is because there's attention there. And there's a funny thing about attention. Attention and money, they love each other like a relationship. They correspond beautifully with each other. So the more attention you attract, right, positive attention, the more money you're going to make. And social media is a whirlpool of attention. You just have to know really how to stir it up and how to put yourself in there. So, right off the top of my head, like some of the greatest social medias for auto repair shops is definitely Facebook, right? Because you got to think about the people, your audience, right? Who's your audience? Well, it's kind of easy to narrow it down. Definitely people over 18, right? That typically drive, right? But it could be your demographic age could be from 18 plus, right? And then you're also you could like demographics. Let me break that down for you, in case nobody knows what demographic is. A demographic is literally kind of like filters, titles. So, like an example, age is a demographic. How much money you make a year is a demographic. Gender is a demographic, and so on and so forth. And Facebook is such a great app because there's so many people on there. Facebook is kind of like the OG of social medias. It learned from MySpace, and that's why it's around for so long. And social media is or I'm sorry, Facebook is so great too because of the Facebook groups and communities on there. And business owners, we understand the importance of networking, right? I don't have to get too much into that, but Facebook is full of that. And a quick little example of networking, like this whole pandemic, I've been networking a lot more than I have like without the pandemic, to be honest with you, because it's so easy to network online from your phone, from your computer, your tablet, your couch. It doesn't matter. That's actually how I met Troy. That's how I met Andreas. I met a lot of people networking, and it's a beautiful thing about Facebook. It's got all these things in one, and that's definitely where your biggest audience is going to be to target. You really want to find out where your audience is, right? That makes it a lot easier to narrow it down. Marketing in general, think of marketing as like a filter, right? You want to filter out the people that you don't want, and you want to attract the people that you do want, right? So that's how I kind of like differentiate marketing and advertising. Advertising, you're pulling people towards you, and marketing, you're filtering them out. For another social media, right? Like there's Facebook and Instagram. And the great thing about Instagram is it's all about high quality content. And it's starting to get a lot more adults involved in Instagram now. Before it was like a young crowd thing, but now it's kind of diversified in age a lot more. So now you'll find a lot of adults on Instagram, but definitely for sure, like Facebook is the number one place for auto repair shops to advertise. And, Google, of course, is so important too. And that's what Juan and I are going to get into. And that's why, Juan's JMC, Google is so great for you guys too, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, what we do is we're basically in every social venue, right? We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Google Business Places, which I think for a shop is the most important social media venue that you should get into. Because if you have Google Business Places and you're registered with Google as a verified Google Business Place, anybody can find you. So you can start actually putting keywords in your Google Business Place, like for example, auto repair shop, auto body shop. And if people look for auto repair shop in a particular town, your shop will come up right away, right? Especially if you start optimizing that Google business so you could be found on Google, right? And apart from that, for example, if you have all those social media venues with the link to your website or whatever landing page you have, that'll just start giving you more ranking on SEO, especially for local search, which is extremely important. But that's what we do here at JMC, and it's actually working extremely well for us because anywhere and everywhere that you could that's in the internet, you can find us. You Google JMC, you find our Instagram, you find our LinkedIn, you find our Facebook, you find our everything, and even Pinterest we're on, because we want to be out there exposed to everything that we're doing, right? So I think that point, Enrique, is extremely important, and especially optimizing your Google Business Place, which is, I think, the most important, especially for local search. And of course, as an auto repair shop or an auto body shop, you're mostly just you have to control. You have to win a local search.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, most of the customer base, I'm sure, like all of it, if anything, is going to be local, right? So, I mean,
Exactly.
like you said, when you go to search something, we've all done it, like pizza near me, right? Wings near me, sushi near me. That's kind of the beautiful thing about Google too. And you said SEO. I want to explain that to the people who may not understand what SEO is. It literally just means search engine optimization. And Google kind of has these search engines in which you type certain keywords, right? Like pizza or near me or pizza near me, that combination, and it triggers those search engines and it brings that stuff to you, top of the page. Now, SEO is ranking. Now, the better ranking of Google, the higher are you going to be to the list, right? That's why, like, when you search pizza near me or JMC Auto or let's say auto equipment dealers, right? JMC is going to be all the way at the top because they have great SEO. They have number one SEO, and you definitely want to shoot for top three, right? I mean, if you're on the first page, good. You want to be at least top five. And another thing too, SEO, like just to let you guys know, if you invest in it in the future, it's going to take a little bit of time. Usually it takes a time span of a couple months, but it's super effective to have because everybody uses Google. Everybody. Everybody searches everything on Google and YouTube. That's like the number two top resources to go to. And in fact, people do it so much, everybody's an expert on everything nowadays. Am I right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Google University.
yeah. So Google's massive, super, super important. And another thing too with SEO is, like you said, you have multiple social medias attached to your Google My Business account. So the more breadcrumb trails you leave on Google, the higher ranking you're going to get because you're just leaving uh, more hooks in the water for fish to bite, if that makes sense. So more things for people to click on to find you, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or a blog. That's better for your SEO because you're getting more attention and you're attracting more attention. And that tells the Google search engines, hey, let's boost this guy up since he's getting more attention. Because Google and social medias, they got these algorithms. And an algorithm basically, they bring the good stuff to the top or to the attention of the people because they want to keep people on there, right? So like on Facebook, they're gonna show you stuff that you enjoy, that you are engaging with, that you can relate to, so you stay on there, so you enjoy it more. And Google's kind of like that too. So the more kind of links and stuff you have, or more platforms you're on the internet, you have connected to your Google My Business account, that would definitely help your SEO ranking because there's just more things for people to click on, and that tells Google, hey, this guy seems pretty damn important. Let's boost him up. He deserves some acknowledgement.
Exactly. And please, I know this tip may sound very simple, but when you're doing all of these social media venues, make sure you have the same logo on all of them. Because I see in businesses have one logo on Facebook, another logo on Instagram, the face of the person on LinkedIn. So, that of course will still bring you traffic, but you want to make sure you're branding your shop so you can think about the future, right? So if you have all of that down packed, like every social venue or every social media venue has the same logo, you're setting up yourself for success in the future. So if you ever want to expand, for example, open up a second repair shop, now people in the area will be at least familiar with your logo, and you can get more traffic like that. That way you can, and it's more of a branding thing than anything, right? Because if you yes, and like, I mean, for an auto repair shop, it's a little tougher to brand, but at the end of the day, if you have a cool logo or an attractive logo and everybody sees that, everybody will remember that. So please make sure you have the same logo and the same colors and the same brand on all those social media venues, because that will just attract more and more people, and you will be remembered a little bit more too as well.
Yeah, branding's super important. It's a good thing you brought that up. Like your social media, your names, your links, your at names. If you can, keep them all the same so it's easier to find you on all platforms. So you want to have the same Twitter name, as your Facebook and your Instagram. It's just so much easier that way. And your logos too. Simple little things like that. You'd be surprised. They kind of just go right over your head.
Yep.
Um, and logo is massive too. Like that falls into branding for sure. And
Yep.
for
No.
those who may not be too familiar with branding, a good analogy I like to use is you, for example. Like, let's say you walk into a room full of people, right? You're talking with people, you're super engaging. They're, they see you, right? They get you have their attention. But good branding is how they think of you after you leave the building. That's how I like to describe branding, right? So if you're very engaging, very kind, and you're polite, and you're talking with everybody, and you leave, everyone's like, "Wow, that's a great guy. He's so kind. He's so outgoing." That's good branding, right? So that's a good way to think about it in a simplistic way. And I mean, obviously, you want to be super professional. You want to be super easy to navigate through. Like if they go to your Facebook or your website and stuff, you want to be well organized, well structured. You want to have some nice graphic design so you look nice and professional, clean, and a lot of value. People love value. Some businesses out there, they might be a little stingy with value, but it depends on the business. You know what I mean? And obviously that's not good business, but that's not a problem, especially if you're here today. Like if you're here today, you realize, hey, I need to step up something to get what I want, the results that I want. So the people who are here today, kudos to you because you understand that you have to constantly learn and evolve, especially to adapting environments in order to get the goals or the higher income or whatever targets you set for yourself to achieve and accomplish. So a pat on the back for you because sometimes things like that are overlooked.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. So no, that was a great first step. Basically, doubling down on social media, making sure that everything, all your social media is up to par. You have your Facebook, you have your Instagram, you have your Google Business Place, Pinterest, or wherever it may be. You have that in place so people can find you and go to your shop. Um, Go ahead, Enrique.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so that's definitely tip number one. You got to double down on social media, right? And if you guys have a notepad in front of you, please take notes during this thing. And also, we're recording this too. And what we'll do is after we finish the webinar, we'll also email you the webinar so you guys can keep it on file. You could always refer back to in case you miss notes or something. And it's good to have this kind of value recorded and on file because you're getting professional advice from not just me, but also Juan, right? And we're both very good at what we do. And you guys can literally have this in your Mac, on your PC, wherever, your cell phone, you could always go back to it. So please do that. Please take some notes. But that's the first one, double down on social media, right? And remember, the more attention you can create, the more money you can make. They love each other. So the second thing that we wanted to really, guys, go over for you was oil changes, right? Because oil changes is a great in the door offer, right? To get people to come into your shop. Everybody needs an oil change. I'm sure that's probably like the number one service you guys probably do. It's probably definitely top three on how many you guys actually do in general. And really, Juan and I got together on this. And he's like, "Hey man, what's the best way these auto repair owners or these shop owners can take their most common service and capitalize on that more?" And I said, "Well, it's quite simple. You need more upsells. So what's the number one thing that these auto repair shops do?" And it's common sense, right? Oil changes. We all need it. It's a good thing. So oil changes, you're getting people in the door. It's like the low-hanging fruit of business. It's easy to pick. So I wanted to show you guys a great way that you can get more people in through your doors with this oil change strategy. And there's two different things I want to cover with this, with tip number two. And the first one we go over is email marketing. And the perfect example of email marketing is exactly how you guys got here today. Sent you an email all week and the week before, letting you guys know, hey, look, we got this webinar where you're going to get massive value and you're going to benefit with effective. And the beautiful thing about email is it can be automated. So you don't have to do this every day. Or if you're not tech savvy, no problem. Your guy, if you bring somebody on, which I highly recommend because chances are you're super busy. right? And if you're not tech savvy, you definitely don't want to do it yourself. And there's no shame in that, right, Juan?
Exactly. No, exactly. I mean, that's a great tip, Enrique, because obviously, like you said, like it's the easiest thing for a shop to do, right? An oil change. And how many? Let me ask you this, Tony, Enrique. How many times have you ever gotten to do your to take your car to the shop to get your oil changed?
Oh man, I baby everything I have. I baby. I'm on top of everything. I'm super organized. I'm like borderline OCD. So every 3 months, I'm there. I don't fool around.
Okay. Well, you're a different type of person because I know, for example, my wife forgets to do the oil change all the time, right? So this is a perfect example, I think, for people that are forgetful, right? So every 3 months or every 6 months, if you come up with a good email marketing flow, right? That email will automatically be sent to that client saying, "Hey, Mr. Client, it's time to do your oil change. Come back to the shop. Here's a coupon, like a 5% or a 10% coupon code. Let's get you through the door," right? And obviously, because half of the time, my wife, what does she do? She goes to one shop, then she goes to another shop, and then she doesn't really care. She doesn't have loyalty to her shop, right? But if she gets an email sent to her personally, "Hey, Mrs. Chavez, it's time for your oil change. Please click on this link to book your oil change," right? And that could be done with email marketing campaigns. For example, Mailchimp, which is extremely easy to use. It's basically free for the first 500 emails that you get, so you can set that up very easily. And
2,000 subscribers.
2,000, oh, even better. So 2,000 subscribers is
2,000
free.
subscribers. Mailchimp is free, and that is something like $10 a month, 10,
Yeah,
15,
it's
lower.
very cheap. It's very cheap. So for example, let's say you get a client coming in, right, to do whatever job. That client, you get that client's email. You add that email to the email flow that you create, right? That way, every 3 months, that another automatic email is sent out, right? And you can connect Mailchimp with an SMS or a text service. That way, that same person is getting an email and a text every 3 months reminding them to get the oil change, right? So now this doesn't have to just be for oil changes. It could be for whatever service that you guys that a client needs every so often, right? So let's say you have a client that needs a service every 6 months, right? That client will get an email done by you uh, every 6 months, reminding them to come back to the shop again. Hey, it's time for your transmission fluid change or your oil change or whatever it is. So I think that is a genius idea that a lot of people are overlooking that they don't do. And this again, these are tactics, guys, that you can use that are basically free. Like Enrique said, it's Mailchimp is free for up to 2,000 subscribers, right? So if you start adding little by little, that's basically free, and you can. It's not too hard to navigate Mailchimp and figure out how to create an email flow and how to create an SMS text app. And of course, if you guys don't want to do it, Enrique, you know how to do it, right?
Yeah, yeah. So just like you said, and people might be thinking, well, how do I get emails? Super easy. Chances are, most of your payments are probably like debit cards or credit cards, right? And the less payments are going to be cash, right? I doubt anybody's going to pay check, but actual straight up cash, yeah, that's going to be like your less likely one. So no matter what, everything's going to be, or most of the part, it's going to be in digital form, right? So collecting emails is super easy. It's super easy. All you have to say is, hey, during the payment process, okay, can we have your email, phone number, name, and then however you do the payment process. It's literally that simple. You take uh, you take their email and it goes into Mailchimp, or it can be set up automatically depending on what software or what payment processor you have. It could send it directly to Mailchimp effortlessly too, and it's just handles. And SMS texting, SMS is just text marketing, right? And some of the, I would say these are the two best ways to directly get in touch with prospects and customers without having to pick up a phone or show up in person. And especially text. This is the beautiful thing about text. And text marketing, I would say it's much newer than email marketing, but a text is so good because it's so direct, right? We see an email notification on our phone, we can brush past that, right? We can maybe see it an hour later or whatever the case. But a text is going to get our attention because we get text a lot. So that's like the fine difference between email marketing and text marketing, and they're both needed. Don't get me wrong, you got to have both. You got to have them. But text marketing is super essential. And look, with email marketing and text marketing, it doesn't have to just be like, hey, your oil change is up. No, it could be any promotion, whether it's a holiday, birthdays. Like birthday campaigns are awesome. Everybody loves a birthday discount. Everyone loves a birthday gift. I love a discount. I'm gonna go for a discount every chance I can get. I just love a discount. I like to save a couple bucks. So with a birthday campaign, oh my gosh, you'd be getting business like this. And you can use email marketing and text marketing for literally any occasion. You can 4th of July, Memorial Day, President's Day. Hey, happy President's Day! Come on in. We'll get you this, this, and that. But the most important thing, like, and the reason why we wanted to talk about this as the second tip is because this is how you get people in your doors effortlessly. And you do this while you sleep. This has no effort. You have your marketer guy set it up. Great. That's no effort on your part, right? And it sets itself off. It automates itself. It sends the stuff to the people. No effort on your part. It's so easy. It's a beautiful thing, and that's why the internet is so. It's just awesome. I can't even think of the word, man. It's so convenient. That's the word I'm trying to think of. It's so convenient,
Yeah, like,
and there's so many little tips and tricks that you can have and tools that you can use.
yeah, for sure. Like technology, you guys got to embrace technology. The more you embrace technology and the internet and figure out ways to automate everything, that's when you're going to be able to succeed in your business, right? Because you really have to become like this with technology. Like, for example, nowadays, like, I'm going to give you an example about technology, right? Before, we used to set up interviews for people to come to our office, face-to-face interview, all that stuff, and then there was a whole process where the person had to come back in again. Now, for example, because of everything going on, obviously we're all working from home, but what we're doing is basically setting up interviews through Zoom and sending out like a Calendly link so the person can set up their own interview at a time that it's convenient for us and for them, right? So everything is automated. Nothing like if you do research enough, you'll figure out a way to do it, automate it, and basically, like Enrique said, like, make money while you sleep. So I mean, I think these email text reminders for different services that you as an auto shop owner have, it's key. So if you want to bring in more and more people to your shop, send them those email flows every 3 months. That way that person can come back every 3 months, and if they need anything else, who do you think they're going to come to? They're going to come to you because they remember you. They remember you as saying, hey, that guy, it's convenient. All I got to do is press a button, go to maybe an application, book my oil change, and that's it.
And think about how nice it is for your customer too, right? So let's say you just took their payment process and said, hey, by the way, we need to go above and beyond for our customers. In 3 months, you'll actually get a text notification and an email notification that tells you, hey, your oil change is ready in 7 days or 5 days, however you want to set it. But it's so convenient for them. And think about how many mechanic shops aren't doing that. A lot. Because the truth is, like Juan said, you really got to adapt to the internet because it's only going to help you. It's only going to help you. And I just I remember this about the texting and the emails. Look, guys, you can use this for anything. If you're trying to build a social media that doesn't have a strong following, let's say you're new to Facebook or something, hey, check out this new Facebook video and just send it through a text. Like you guys can send quick little videos, right? We'll talk about this too. Quick little informational videos to car owners. Like, hey, did you know these 3 tips about keeping your car up to maintenance or up to speed? Or did you know that these different oils work for these different kind of things? Like, there's so many. You can use email and text marketing for literally anything. and you want to get attention again, right? So if you got a new product or a new service or a new offer, boom, send it just like that. It's super super efficient and it's super effective.
Exactly.
And I mean, as far as that, man, you guys got to do email marketing and SMS marketing. Juan, is there anything that you want to add to that?
No, I think that's one of the best tips that I heard. Really, to be honest with you, because it brings people through the door. It's a constant reminder that to come back to the shop. So I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
Um,
Text. Oh, by the way, text marketing, it's super cheap, guys. It might cost like a cent or a couple cents to send like one text to one person. Like that's it. Like a cent or like literally it
yeah.
goes to like 2 cents. It's so cheap and super effective.
All right. Let's move
So
on
then
to lucky number three.
that's right. Increase Google reviews and video testimonials. This is absolutely essential. I would say this is definitely one of my top favorites in this list of five. And from other marketers, they understand this. Um, Juan, how important are videos, man? Would you rather watch video or read a paragraph?
Video is extremely important. I mean, the more and more we get videos from our own clients for our e-commerce site, the more and more people come to our site, right? So I know this is it's a little difficult, right? But I seen shops pull it off extremely well. Especially like the hot rod shops or anything like that. I seen one shop in New York, for example, get one video or two video reviews a week from their clients, which is pretty tough to do. And all it is obviously, first of all, giving great customer service to the clients, making sure that they're extremely satisfied and making sure the car is looking superb. And then afterwards, after you hand them the car, tell them, hey, let me take a picture of you with you in front of your car. And if anything, right there and then, tell them like, hey, say a 30-second thing about how awesome our shop is. 9 out of 10 people will probably say no, but that one person will say yes, and you'll put that video review on Facebook, you'll put that video review on YouTube, on everywhere. Again, this is kind of like going back to doubling down on your social media, right? Once you got everything on your social media, everything branded together correctly, now you can begin by adding those reviews, those testimonials, so on and so on and so on, and that's an easier way for people to find you. So I think apart from video testimonials, you got the Google reviews, right? So if somebody doesn't want to do a picture or a video, no problem. Hey, I understand you don't want your face to be seen on Instagram, which is totally understandable. At least give me a Google review. So now that you have your Google business page set up, you grab that link and you either send it to them by text. They'll open it right in front of you, because if you let them go out of the shop, they're going to forget about the testimonial, right? So make sure that they're doing it in front of the shop. And if they don't want to do it, now at least you have their email, and you can send an automated email flow, going back to tip number 2. So you can send them like, hey, thank you for coming to our shop. Please give us a review here through our Google review. The more and more Google reviews that you get for your business page, the more you're going to come up on local search. And that is the key to actually winning local search.
Credibility. You gotta have credibility.
Exactly.
And you also gotta have friendly staff too. That helps.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I think customer service is key in every
yeah,
business.
and working in a shop, it's a tough environment sometimes, especially working on cars. You got a simple job, you're like, oh yeah, this shouldn't take long. Something happens, which usually happens most of the time, right? And it's like, oh my God, it might be hot in there. It's a very, most of the time, it's a manly environment, right? So there's a lot of guys and people are getting mad and frustrated. Pitching can build fast. It's no surprise. So it's super important to make sure you got your friendliest person up front. If you got a woman, a female employee, even better, even better. Everybody loves a friendly face.
Exactly.
And the Google reviews, guys, you gotta have those. You gotta have those, and it's so easy to ask for. Literally after every payment process of I would have your employees say, hey, thank you so much for your service. We appreciate you choosing us. It just means so much to us. Would you actually mind taking an extra 2 minutes right now to just leave us a quick Google review on what you guys thought of us? Say a positive review, right? Obviously, you want to ask it to the people who had a good time, right? Because you don't want to get negative reviews. You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot here. So, not to go off your best judgment, right? Which is so simple, right? And look, chances are you own a great mechanic shop. You deserve good reviews. You deserve more income. You deserve to hit your goals and your targets because you have so much invested in your shop. You deserve it, plain and simple. And it's so easy, just run it by your employees. Hey, look, after every happy process, payment process, please ask for a simple review. All you got to say is this. Hey, would you please mind giving us a quick review? We would love to give you a 20% off coupon on your next oil change or your next service. Maybe 10% on your next service, whatever.
Or just a coupon code, like whatever coupon code works for you. Yeah.
Whatever it is, you figure it out. Maybe collaborate with a local car wash, Like there's so many options. And that's another thing too, like, hey, this isn't a part of the list. I just got it off my mind. Look, collaborate with other people near you. Right? If there's a great pizza joint in town and everybody knows and it's infamous for it, collaborate with those guys. It's so simple. Car washes, anything car related, collaborate with them. I just wanted to throw that out there as another reminder. But so Google reviews, you gotta have them. The more the merrier. Only shoot for positive ones, of course. And then video testimonials. These are super, super important because the power of video is so much stronger than reading anything. Let me ask you this, the people that are watching, right? You go to a website, right? You see a video, right under there's a paragraph. If you're not in a rush or whatever, what are you going to do? You're going to click on the video, watch a quick 30-second video, or are you going to take the time to read a large paragraph? It's quite simple. You're going to rather watch a video. It's more amusing, right? Amusing is everything, especially with the internet today. Everybody's so impatient because it's such a distracting. This is such a distracting piece of technology. You go on. How many of you guys done this? You go on your phone for a reason, and as soon as you open it, you get totally sideswiped because you open your phone to a different app. Next thing you know, you're 20 minutes in watching videos. like we've all done it. We're all victims of it. But the point is, videos are so important because they bridge the gap of emotion. And this is how you want to create more sales. And it's better for sales and building credibility and trust with the prospect, right? Prospect is somebody that you haven't made into a customer. You got to be using video marketing, and it can be just so simple, and it doesn't, if you're not good at a camera, if you're not good in front of a camera, like, me and Juan are, no problem. There's so many different ways you can get good, high quality videos that deliver the message up front in a short time, right? You want to have a short video because attention spans barely existed anymore. Look, there's just calling it how it is. There's animation.
The funny thing about the video is that, like, dude, I sucked at video like up to like maybe 3 months ago. And like, it's not even that we suck. It's just that we're good at what, at video. It's just that in our mind, we think, oh, I'm going to suck at video, but the moment you start practicing in front of the camera or just talking in front of a camera, everybody has a lot to teach. Everybody has a lot to say. So it's just going to come in fluid, right? Maybe the first couple of times it's going to be weird, but afterwards it's going to be natural. So just get in front of the camera, man. Even if you suck, it's okay. You're going to get better with time. Sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to say that.
No. Cut me off anytime, especially if you got good stuff.
Sorry. Like, for example, when I sent you that video today, that 30-second video, I was like, dude, it took me like 20 tries to do this like 20-second video. But I did it the first time. I was like, I made a mistake. Second time, another mistake. I did it the 20th time. I'm like, all right, this is the time that I'm gonna do it. Finally got it done. But just like that, I think everybody can, especially business owners, have to be in video. Have to be like, you have to put a face to the business. And if they see you in a video, like welcoming people, hey, come to my shop doing this, they're going to trust you even more. And one of the biggest problems I think with shop is trust, right? But if they see your face, they see, that you have a genuine honest message, they're going to come to your shop.
Absolutely, without a fact. But without a doubt, look, the videos, like I was saying before, Juan cut me off, like, how many times?
Very, very rudely.
Yeah, so like the truth of the matter is, 1 second.
Okay, I think Enrique might be having some technical problems. So like I was saying, guys, so try to get in video, welcoming your clients to the shop. That way people can feel connected with you, can trust you a little bit more, right? And like I said, as going back to tip number 3, get the Google review, either physically in person there, or again, create an email flow or a text flow where you're sending out a link to your clients so they can get you that link, and video testimonials. Go ahead, Enrique. I told him that you probably had technical difficulties.
Yeah, I did. Sorry about that. Let's see what was. Oh yeah, so videos. Like, videos are great for literally bridging the gap between the viewer and the business owner, which would be you guys, of course. And that's why videos are awesome, because they bring out emotions, right? When you read something, yeah, that's one thing. But when you watch a video and you connect with the message in the video, or you see the actual person speaking to you in the video, you see their tonality, their physiology, it kind of builds, it kind of answers the hidden questions in their minds, right? Like, okay, who's behind this? It builds trust, it builds credibility, it gives you a little more peace of mind. That's why videos are literally a bridge. They're a bridge, guys, and that's why they're so great and they're essential to have. And I was saying, earlier too, look, if you're not good in front of a camera, no problem. There's different ways you can get video, guys. There's animation videos, like cartoons, and like good cartoons too. Those are nice to have if you're not good in front of a camera, or if you don't have time. You might just not have time. You might be low on an employee, right? Maybe you had to cut some, and you don't have time to make a video. No problem. Animation videos, and also whiteboard videos. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these, but it's literally an artist drawing on a whiteboard, and it's a video recording it, and they tell the story through what they draw. It's amazing the amount of skill artists have these days. And there's so many different kinds of videos out there that you can create and that can tell the story for you. So if you're not tech savvy, if you're not good in front of a camera, don't stress it out. Please don't stress it out. And please don't leave out videos. You gotta have videos. And I just want to mention this too. Look, that's something that I do too. Videography, video creation, video editing, and you just gotta have it. It's such a good thing. And by the way, a quick little tip too, on your website, you gotta have a video. It's called a brand story. People want to see who the company is, right? The more reasons you can give somebody to work with you or to hire you, the better, right? Plain and simple. Videos are the solution.
All right. No, tip number 3 is very powerful. Can't wait to hear tip number 4.
Yeah, so they correspond quite well, right? So tip number 4 is a YouTube channel. A YouTube channel. Like we said earlier, people, when they want to find some answers out, where do they go? Google and YouTube, And YouTube videos are so great for the reasons that we just spoke about. And a great way you can utilize YouTube, I like to call YouTube a video library. Because I keep all my video documents there. It's literally just a library for them to find different stuff. Like, you'll find podcast episodes. You'll find videos of me talking about different books, because I love to read books, right? So you see book reviews there. You'll see one-on-ones there, coaching one-on-ones, marketing tips, like all sorts of stuff. Well, you guys, you can have videos, informative videos for your customers. Like I said earlier, car maintenance tips, right? Car hacks. What kind of antifreeze to use, just whatever the case is, you guys can have those quick 30-second videos on there, and you can tell your customers while they're in shop, hey, check out our YouTube page, so you can understand exactly what we're doing to your car right now while it's on that lift, to give you a better understanding. Next thing you know, you're there. Hey, if you enjoy it, please subscribe. And hey, if they had a good time with the whole process, then you ask them for that review again. So you get the stuff that we're talking about, it folds perfectly together, right? Like a fabric. It knits perfectly together. That's why we chose these 5 that we're going over with you guys today, because they just work. They work with each other, work so fluently. So a YouTube channel that's informative videos for your customers will go a long way because people will come to you for advice and they'll keep coming back to you. And that's the whole point, right? Positive attention and residual attention too. You want to add to that one?
Yeah, no, I think this is I mean, another powerful tip, right? Because, and even though it's not just for local search, but nationwide search, people are gonna find you, and this is only going to increase your local search authority, right? Because people, you're gonna, obviously you have to optimize your YouTube channel with the town that you're in, right? So for example, auto repair shop, Valley Stream, New York, right? Your YouTube channel and your videos are going to come up. So obviously, anybody looking for anything when it comes to auto repair, like, hey, how do I maintain my car or whatever, your videos are going to come up. And even if you're in New York and somebody's in California, if they're looking at it, that's great, because that gives you more engagement. That they're going to probably like the video, maybe even comment on the video, and that's just going to increase your nationwide search and your local search, which is the most important part. So and again, this is giving you credibility as an authority in the business, right? So again, thinking of the future, if you're looking to open up different shops in different areas of the country, which some people want to do, some people don't, but if you are looking to do that, right? For example, let's say you have one in New York, one in Jersey, one in Connecticut, with all the same brand. For example, Caliber Collision, that's a huge brand of body shop that's all over the nation, right? If you're looking to maybe not be in the magnitude of Caliber Collision, but have a couple of shops in different states, then people are going to know you through your YouTube channel. And that is a great way to bring more and more people into your shop.
Yeah, 100%. And look, the thing is, like you said, credibility, guys. Credibility. You got to be in front of a camera, or you just got to have a video. Like, just please, whatever you do, not stress, over stress anything that has to do with business, right? Because what happens, you tend to get scared, and then with scared, you tend to not do anything. And the last thing you want to do, especially in a time right now, is to not do anything.
Mhm.
You got to be giving out content to the internet. You got to be giving out value, constant value every single day to your customers. And guys, it's not a hard thing. You do it every single day. What you're doing is just adding extra value. It's so simple. You're adding extra little tweaks and adjustments that are going to go a really long way. Trust me, everybody knows 10 people. Everybody talks. Somebody has a bad experience, especially now, you see all the news now with everything going on. Everybody's got a camera. You do something fantastic, people are going to preach you. You do something great, people will love you forever. They will love you forever, and they will
That's
worship
right.
you.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about credibility. Credibility and connection with that. Like I said, I mean, let's bring in the biggest brands out there, right? Tesla. Who's the owner of Tesla? You know who the owner of Tesla is. Who's the leader, or who was the leader of Apple? Microsoft. We know the owners of these companies because they're in video, because they're exposed, right? And they're the biggest brands out there. So just like them, we have to take that example and also connect with our own clients, with our own audience. Even if it's just a shop. I mean, make it. I mean, I know most of you guys are car guys. Most of you guys are very passionate about your shops. Be passionate about this too. Create a connection with your clients, because you're giving a service that's extremely powerful, that's extremely necessary, and you have to know that you're the best out there. And because you're the best out there, you have to bring in every client to your shop. And the way you bring in every client to your shop is putting yourself out there, putting out as much exposure as possible. And you do this through all these channels, especially YouTube. But yeah,
Dude,
Enrique, that is tip number 4. Let me write that down. Let me send it to everyone too as well here in the channel, on the chat box. Excuse me. Go ahead if you want to start with tip number
yeah,
5.
we'll get started. Call every client you ever had. You guys don't have to go trying to reinvent the wheel, right? And trying to get new customers all the time. And this folds back to the previous tips. Tip number 2, right? Yeah, the oil change in the texting. If you don't want to make calls, or if you don't have time, or you're low staffed, or you guys don't want to make calls, not a problem. You got tip number 2, the automation, right? But the point of number 5 is to just resell back to your past customers, because you already did the job. You already did the hardest part with them already, which was getting them in your doors and having them exchange their value, which is money, for your service. You already got the hardest part of the way. And chances are, since you're here, you got a pretty badass company as it is, right? You're good at what you do, plain and simple. They're going to come back to you. They're going to come back to you. Like I said earlier, the reason you guys are here is because you understand the importance of constantly changing and evolving and giving more value to your people, your customers. So that, like, getting them back, give them a call. You can go straight up hustle, just call the people. Hey, you don't have to do it all at once, right? What you can do is maybe 5 a day, 10 a day. Have an employee do 10 calls a day, maybe 1 an hour, whatever the case is. It's really not that hard. And you could offer a promotion, offer a discount. People love a discount. People want a reason to come in. Give them another reason to come in. But it's so essential to have, because you don't have to go reinvent the wheel and try to get new customers. You don't have to do that. This is just an easy way. You sell people that were already sold, and they're going to come back for you anyway because they were happy the first time. And this time they come back, hey, maybe you have some new services or new upsells that you can provide with them, right? And I just remember this. I kind of want to backtrack to number 4 real quick without getting too distracted on it. The YouTube channel, look, guys, when you guys are pushing more online, maybe your business is, maybe you guys want to sell online stuff. Who knows? Maybe you have a different kind of mechanic shop that provides different kind of value. Maybe you guys sell online merchandise, or maybe you guys sell lips or jacks or equipment and stuff like that. The more footprints you can leave on the internet, the more likely sales you're going to have too. But to go back to number 5, sorry about that. Don't go trying to find new customers, pulling your hair out. If you can just resell those people, and in the meantime, you get new customers too, right? And a good analogy I want to mention real quick is, it's called a pipeline, right? So imagine a pipeline. This is your pipeline. A pipeline is how many prospects are coming through your pipeline, right? And depending on how good you are closing deals, which with their business, right? Your business to consumer. You have a service, they have a problem, you solve the problem. It's good money. It's easy making. It's easy making money solution, right? So it's easier to make money for that certain scenario, because back to the pipeline, the more leads you guys have, the more people that know you and are coming to you, the more sales you're going to have, right? It's pretty simple. So you want to have a fuller pipeline. If you guys don't have too many leads and your pipeline's small, that's kind of a problem, right? That's why you're not making as much money as you want to make. That's why you're not hitting the goals that you have set. So the best way to really expand this pipeline again is, yes, getting new customers, new prospects, but also re-engaging with your past customers, because you already built that credibility. You already built that trust. They were already in your shop. They already exchanged currency with you. So it's much easier to resell people that you already sold before.
You're totally right, Enrique. Like, for example, one of the best advices I got from an extremely successful business owner last year was, I asked him, like, hey, how do I bring in more clients? That was my first question, right? He was like, how many current clients do you have? I was like, I don't know. I probably sold about maybe $10,000 to $20,000 in the past couple of years. He's like, why don't you just call all those clients? Why are you gonna waste more money or spend more money in marketing to these clients that don't even know you, when you have good clients that already know who you are? You've probably done a good job, and you can just call all of these guys back, and even ask them, hey, how's it going? How are you? And I think a good thing when you're doing these calling back all the clients, have 1 or 2 good tips that you can tell them about how to maintain their car, right? So for example, like, hey, Mr. Client, how are you? I know you haven't been here in a while. How's everything going? By the way, hey, if you need, make sure that your car has this. Make sure that you're doing this for your car. Make sure you're doing this for your car. They're gonna appreciate the advice, the value that you're bringing to them. Like for example, me, Enrique, and I doing this webinar for you guys is we're bringing value to you, right? So obviously I mean, I hope you appreciate it. And just like you guys are going to appreciate this, your clients are going to appreciate the fact that you're calling them, first of all, asking them, how are you guys doing? And giving them some tips on how to maintain their cars. And you could do this every 3 to 6 months, or every 6 months, right? So if you have, for example, 1,000 clients out there, you can go through 1,000 clients in literally like 20 days if you do 50 calls a day. And doing 50 calls a day, you can get through in literally 2 hours, you know. Or you can have your receptionist do this as well. Create a good pitch for her. Make sure that you practice it with her, a couple of times. And while she's not taking any clients in, she can start calling these clients back. And like another good tip that I got from a great business owner is make sure that every one of your employees is doing something that's creating profit for your business. So that you're basically profit producing activities, and doing these callbacks is an extremely important profit producing activity, because a receptionist that's there answering phones or doing something that's very simple, now you have her doing something that could be profitable to your company, bringing old clients back, connecting. Again, I'm very big into connection, right? So connecting back with your older clients, maybe those clients that haven't been back in a while, right? And make sure that you're coaching her along the way, because it's not just about, hey, here's a pitch, call everybody. Yes, you could do it yourself, but at the end of the day, you're the business owner. If you have time, do it. But if not, make sure that you're coaching her correctly on how to do this. And I mean, obviously, I learned how to do this throughout the time. Hiring people, hiring coaches. It's not. This is something that I didn't learn overnight on how to do this. Right. This is something that basically I've been training myself on for a long time. And like I said, I think hiring key people to either do something, do these things for you, or train you on this is extremely important. And I think with these 5 tips, right, that Enrique just shared with us, and I just shared with you guys, that are extremely important, so we can go over really quick, right? First tip: doubling down on social media, making sure all your social media is present in the internet. It's very basic. It's cheap. You don't, you can do this yourself. Making sure that you create an email flow or a text flow reminding clients to come back to your shop. Again, very simple. You create a Mailchimp campaign, you use an SMS text software to do this, right? Again, not this is something simple, very cheap. Increase Google reviews and video testimonials. All it is just asking the client for these Google reviews. That way you can appear on your local search. Start a YouTube channel. That will take a little bit of work, but at the end of the day, if you're passionate about repairs, about repair shops, about car repair, and making your car better, then it's going to be easy for you to actually create maybe a 2 or 3 minute video and put it on YouTube. And last but not least, call every client that you ever had. Again, these are all inexpensive tips that can get your shop to the next level and bring more people to your shop, right? Again, these are some things that you could do yourself, or you can hire an expert to either consult you on how to do it correctly, or maybe just hire them to do it themselves. Am I right, Enrique?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And look, guys, you don't have to do everything yourself. Like, the truth is, like, we're not good at everything. As a matter of fact, we might be really good at just a few things, So it's always good to ask for help, especially if you want to learn more. Like, here's the thing: we live in the day of information, right? This is the information age. There's so much info every day that we learn and that we see, and that just goes through our ears. We just overlook it. So never be afraid to ask for help, or to ask for advice, or to learn more. Like something that I like to do, and especially I'm going to do for everybody that's here today, is free consulting call. right? So like if you're having problems with something with your marketing, or you're not getting as many people in the door, no problem. We can hop on a free call. I'll go over your marketing and I'll show you guys exactly where these leaks are, and I can tell you how to plug them, and I can show you how. But the bottom of the bottom of the line is never be afraid to ask for help, and definitely don't be afraid to look into it, because it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. And honestly, you have to do this now. Now is the perfect opportunity to step up your marketing, to step up your sales, to step up your investing overall. Because like I told Juan a few months ago, your competition is retreating. They're cutting back expenses. They're cutting back employees. You bet they're cutting back their marketing, right? They're cutting back on everything to save more, which is like free real estate for you guys. Because if you think about it, ads on the internet, they haven't been this low in years. Facebook ads before, they be like what, $2 to $3 per interaction. Now they're like cents. So everything is cheaper now in hard times, which is good, because you get more for your buck. You get more for your dollar, guys. That's why it's so important. That's why we wanted to push upon social medias, texting and emailing. That's like text and email marketing, guys. That's really like, that's so efficient, and it doesn't cost that much either. If you do it yourself, it doesn't really cost you anything at all. But if you're not tech savvy, don't stress. You are way better hiring somebody, simply because if you hire a professional, look, they already learned the mistakes that you would have to learn if you were to do it yourself. And let me tell you something about marketing. Mistakes can be expensive. So if you're not tech savvy and you try to pinch a penny, look, you're going to make a lot of mistakes and you're going to spend a lot of money. You're honestly better investing in a marketer like my company, or a marketer in general, because they know, they've done that already. So they can literally get you your return on your investment and a profit way faster and way more strategically. So that's the difference, between, hey, should I do this myself, or can I do this myself, or should I really outsource this thing? And with that spare time that you have from not doing your own marketing, you could expand on other ventures to get you more income, right? Or you can work on a few extra cars instead of having to do this marketing thing, to create this video, to automate this email or this text. So you can get much more work done if you have somebody doing this for you on your team. Another thing too I want to mention, look, if you guys are already doing some marketing in-house and it's not that effective, obviously you need to make a change, right? Because here's like the marketing 101. If you have something that's working in your marketing, great. Don't change it. Only change it if it stops working, right? Because you want to make an edit and see if it progresses. Otherwise, if you've got something going for you, good. Find different ways to advertise while you still do that one thing. Don't just focus on that one thing. You never want to focus on one thing. You want to focus on many outsources, many outputs. You want to have as many arms as you can, like an octopus. So if you guys have in-house marketing, you need to constantly reinvest in the education of your marketers too, right? I don't know, maybe you have a cousin or a nephew or a son that does your marketing, great. But if you're not seeing the results that you want, okay, you need to invest in his education. Another thing that my company does too is we do marketing mentoring too. We do consultations, one-on-ones. We even do coaching for businesses that have 5 to 10 employees or more. So you have to constantly, if you guys have in-house marketing, it's not effective and you want to keep it in-house, great, no problem. Just constantly invest in the education, because here's the thing about technology, it's constantly ever changing. It's always changing, and it's going to change a lot faster, and it always is getting faster and faster as a new change, right? Think about what a couple years ago we didn't have something called like an Apple Watch. Now Apple Watch reads your heartbeat, and like everything else, like your vitals. How insane is that? So the point is, like, technology is ever changing, so is marketing, because there's so many new software, so many new apps, so many new websites, different ways you can advertise your business. You got to stay on top of the trend. In fact, you gotta be before the trend. If you hit the trend, you're already too late, because the chances are in a trend, everybody knows about it. You gotta be the guy, the person that discovers it way before the trend, so you already know how to run that when it's trending, and that's how you capitalize in the marketplace, and that's how you dominate during hard times like this, and you come out as a category king that you deserve to be. I rest my case.
Well, Enrique, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. So
Yeah, yeah,
guys, there.
and sorry before I cut you off. I wanted to really mention. Look, I want to do a quick FNQ. If you guys listening have any questions right now about your marketing, or if you're doing it, or how to start, please make a comment in the chat. Juan will unmute you, and please ask your questions. So if you got any questions, now's the time. Please pour it in. I would love to answer everything while you got me. So please take advantage of that. But we'll wait a couple minutes. If we don't see anything, then we'll conclude this webinar.
Okay. So while we're waiting for some calls, no, Enrique, excuse me, for some questions. Enrique, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for coming on, so for bringing these great ideas on how a repair shop can really bring more traffic to the door. And using cheap or inexpensive tactics. Because that's the idea. To using marketing in order to just bring in people. And obviously, the more inexpensive it is, the better it is. Obviously, you can spend a lot of money in your marketing in order to bring more people. But if you're just starting out, or if your budget is not there, I think these there's five simple tips are amazing. And I see some people that are just coming on, like kind of late. So if they want, I'm gonna just go over these 5 tips again. That way they can see, like, the 5 tips that we spoke about during this webinar. Is tip number 1: double down on social media. Right? Make sure that your social media, all your branding is correct. Make sure that you have your Facebook open. Make sure that you have your Instagram. Make sure that you have Google business pages. Make sure you have Pinterest. Make sure you have your YouTube channel, all with the same logos on your profile, with the same about us information, with the website information, with the location of your town. That way you can be powerful on your local search. Tip number 2, make sure you have like an oil change email reminder and text flow. That way, whenever people come, like a person come into your shop, you get their email, you put them into their email marketing flow, and then every 3 months you'll get that client will get an email reminding them to come back to your shop so they can do their oil change. I think that's extremely powerful and extremely important. Tip number 3, excuse me, make sure that you have your Google reviews up and your video testimonials up. So the more Google reviews that you have, the more you're going to appear on local search, right? So if they're searching for auto repair shop XYZ town, you're going to come up because you have the most reviews. And who does Google want to show off? The people that are the best, right? Who are the best? The people that have the most reviews. Tip number 4, start a YouTube channel, right? Start a YouTube channel talking about simple tips on how to maintain your car. That way you can be exposed to nationwide and also on your local search, right? And again, if you start a YouTube channel, you'll connect with your client, you'll have credibility, and people will just trust you a little bit more. And tip number 5 is basically call every client that you ever had, right? Because the best way to generate more traffic is by getting clients that already know you, because you're spending less money on getting them to know you. You spend more money, excuse me, getting a new client into your shop than getting an old client to your shop. So those are the 5 tips. Let me see. I think, yeah. I think we got a couple of questions here. So somebody asked, what tools, channels, programs, and/or courses would you recommend to learn more about marketing?
So tools and channels, programs. Look, I'm your guy for that. Plain and simple. And the thing is, the reason I say that is, look, you don't want to listen to too many people. You want to be sure that you listen to somebody that's actually qualified to give you advice, because with the internet, it's so saturated. You got a lot of imposters, a lot of fakes, or a lot of people that might not be as qualified or as credible, right? So you want to find one person that you resonate, that you relate to, or that you like, and listen to them. What was your exact question? Tools. All right. So what tools, channels, programs, and courses?
Basically, what courses can Laura take in order for her to learn more about marketing?
Okay, so it sounds like maybe you're a little bit lost, or maybe you're in a rut as to what steps you are to take now, right? From what I understand, what that question is, maybe you have an idea, or maybe you're just not sure, maybe you don't know what steps to take right now. That's fine. What you should do is literally reach out to me. I drop my contact info. Shoot me a message. We'll go back and forth. And what I'll do is I'll ask you a series of questions, which will literally give me a good idea on where you're at with your company. And that's the best way I can give you the best advice, right? Because we'll take a deep dive into your marketing. Look, I offered everybody here a free phone consultation too. You can get that free phone consultation. We'll hop on a Zoom call like this. We can record it. You can keep it to your file, or we can hop on a regular phone call if you want to do that too. But for tools and channels, look, you got to find a marketer that you really like, right? And like YouTube. If you got some spare time, YouTube is great too. Just be careful who you're listening to, please. Just please be careful who you're listening to. It's like going to a bad mechanic, right? Like you don't want to go to a bad mechanic, especially if you're going to invest your money too. You want to find somebody that's credible. So to answer your question, follow me below, or reach out, or shoot me a text. That's the quick response number. Or visit my website. Look, you just got to reach out to me. We'll take a deep dive into your marketing, your business, your approach. When I say deep dive, I mean deep dive. Look, me and Juan got together to really give you guys, his people, his community, the most value as possible. So that's exactly what we'll do on this phone call or in our messages. So be sure to do that too. And Andy, I see that you said, how important is it to have a website for an auto repair shops? It's pretty damn important. You're gonna want everybody. If you're in business, you gotta have a website, right? You gotta have an online. You gotta have an online presence, and a strong one at that. And it looks with websites too. You gotta have a professional website. Right? I'm talking like graphic design, the whole 9 yards. It's gotta be tailored to the company. A lot of auto mechanic shops, they have a lot of outdated websites, and they don't cut it. If you look at a lot of websites nowadays, they're brand new, they're beautiful, and the chances are, look, people judge books by the covers, right? People judge based on first impressions. We're told not to, we're raised not to, but guess what? We do it at the end of the day. All right, we're all guilty of it. So website, people definitely do that, right? If you pull up a website for an auto mechanic shop and it's old website, maybe the fonts don't match, you can just tell it's real old. Or you pull up a brand new website, it's beautiful, it's organized, they got a video, they got reviews, testimonials, remember the video testimonials, easy contact information. They could subscribe to a list for more value. Goes to step number 2. Look, you're obviously going to choose the cleaner cut, more classy website. So it's super important to have a beautiful website. And, that's something that I do. And also JMC Enterprises. Look, JMC Enterprises it's the ultimate company. They do a lot of stuff for business owners. I mean, you guys got a freaking call center. That's awesome. So if you guys are looking for like customer service, or if you have another business venture too, if you know any other businesses that need call centers and other stuff like that, like Juan will tell you about JMC Enterprises and what they do. But they do a lot of that too. But to go back to the website, it's super important, guys. And if you got an outdated website, look, reach out to me. I'll do a free audit too. I'll throw that in right now. I don't even care. We'll do a free. I'll dissect your website. I'll tell you how fast it's running, how fast it operates. Your Google ranking. I'll tell you how far your Google ranking is. If you're up to the list or really down, because that really matters. If your Google ranking is really low, no one's going to see it when they search you. That's a big problem. So if anybody wants me to do a website diagnosis, please drop your website in the chat below. I'll make a note of that. And what I'll do is I'll go over it and I'll reach out to you through email and I'll send you that there. And if you want to talk more about that, hey, we can hop on a phone call. We could exchange messages back and forth like Laura. So any other questions, guys, drop them right now. Otherwise, we will conclude shortly. And yeah, man. Juan, what do you got to say about websites?
Extremely important. I think the more and more younger people are having cars, right? And obviously, when it comes to these younger people, like 20-year-olds, maybe early 30s, they're gonna look at a website. They're gonna look at your social media. They're gonna look everywhere before they make a decision. Because, for example, when I'm gonna age myself a little bit. When I was younger, we didn't have social media stuff, right? So the only thing that we had to trust is just word of mouth. We're like, hey, who's your mechanic? I would ask my friend. Nowadays, I can literally go into Google and say best mechanic, this town, this and this town, and a whole bunch of shops are gonna come up. So if I don't go to a mechanic already, and I'm looking for a new mechanic, a whole bunch of shops are gonna come up. Who am I going to go with? Psychologically, I'm going to go with the one that has the best reviews and the most reviews and the best website. So if you have all of that, and these are basically the tips that we already went over, if you have all of that, you're going to conquer your local search and your local clients. So website, extremely important. So I don't think anybody has any more questions, Enrique. So I think we're gonna about to wrap it up. But Enrique, again, thank you very much for attending or for helping me out with this webinar and for coming up with just 5 great tips. Everyone, thank you for attending this webinar. Um, like I said, JMC, we're all and Essential Media Marketing. We just want to bring as much value to you guys as possible, so you can be successful in business and so you can provide for your families as well. And again, if you guys are looking to get in touch with Enrique, I'm gonna post this all over the place, and I'm gonna have his contact information. That way, you can get in contact with him. He'll do a free strategy call, help you out with your marketing. And if you're looking to hire marketing, I personally think he's one of the better marketing. He's one of the better out of the box marketers out there, right? Because there's marketers out there that are just like, hey, you got to do this, this, and this. These are 5 tips that most marketing agencies won't tell you because, first of all, they want to they don't want to give you the free stuff, right? They want to obviously make money. We're giving you stuff that's free, that's simple, and that's easy. And just like this, he has a whole bunch of more tips. So, guys, reach
I
out
just
to
want
him if you look.
sorry to cut you off, but like what you just said too, or just remind me. Look, guys, most of your competitors, they're not doing these top 5. They're not, right? And I also want to share a screen with you guys real quick, if that's all right, Juan.
Yep,
Right
go ahead.
because I wanted to show you too. Look, what I'm about to show you right now, I can guarantee you, your competitors, they're not doing, I bet you, a quarter of these things on top of the top 5 that we just spent the last hour on educating you guys. So check this out real quick. Let's see. So look, you guys, give me a call. What we'll do is we'll hop on a call, right? And I'll go over these and why you guys should do these and how they benefit you. So what we went over today was marketing online. We didn't even go over in-house marketing, different strategies that you guys can do to get more upsells, to make more money, but also to increase customer satisfaction and to create those ongoing customers, because we know how much people talk, right? I mean, we got things, look, check this out. When we talk about Google SEO, right? Email marketing, landing page and sales funnels. We didn't really talk about this because that's a whole different conversation. These landing page and sales funnels, that is literally how you scale your company. I mean, a lot. Juan, you use a lot of landing pages. I use a lot of landing pages. Landing pages, guys, if you get a chance, look into that or message me on Instagram or text me. I'll go over it with you. You guys have to be using landing pages and sales funnels if you are not already, because that is how you make money and that's how you provide value, right? At the end of the day, you want to be able to provide more value to your people. This is how you do it, guys. Landing pages and sales funnels. Also, we'll go over a coupon system, customer proof follow-up program, loyalty program, referral systems. We'll literally teach you how to make explanatory videos for your customers. Guys, we go all in online marketing and offline in-store marketing. We're just, you won't find this anywhere else. I guarantee you won't, because people charge a premium just for a call to hop on. So this is this program right here. This is a bulletproof system that I've done with all other auto repair shops. We've done it time and time again. And this is how you can increase your income for your shop at least 19%. At least 19%. I mean, if I had cases that increased 47%, like this is literally how you want to scale with everything going on with all this opportunity. This is the program that does it. And I'll walk you through it exactly. If you guys want to learn more about that, you have my contact info below. Reach out to me. It doesn't hurt to ask for advice. At the end of the day, we can't do everything on our own, and we shouldn't try to. Focus on your strengths, because that's how you become an expert or a master at them. Juan, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. I definitely want to provide more value to your people, man. This was just an awesome experience.
No,
Great
for
questions,
sure.
great engagements. Good time, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Enrique, and thank you everyone for joining. See you soon.
All right.